Hi there, I'm Callum Ware. I'm a second year Master of Ed primary school student at Notre Dame. I am here to tell you about the experience I've had on my rural practicum that I've just had. So why I chose rural was because I wanted to extend myself and extend my skills and also my personal experiences and apply my rural practicum, my last rural practicum, to a new placement somewhere in Western Australia, somewhere I've not heard before. So I chose Derby up in which is just north of Broome in the Kimberley, because the challenges that I heard that I would face in the school that faces, but also the rewards that it has. I met the principal in November last year, and through meeting him through Notre Dame, which they had an open day for Derby District High School, which students could come along. I met the principal, and the principal spoke good things about the school. That's then when I started creating that network, and then I followed up on that closer to my practicum to make this opportunity possible. And through that opportunity, then this practicum came for 10 weeks, and then I was up there doing my prac. So that was mainly the reason why Derby was the top of my list. It was because of how much the principal had sold it and compared it to the likes of Broome, compared to the likes of Connemara, but also compared it to the likes of Margaret River. Derby in itself is a very unique community that kind of sells what the rest of Kimberley has. It's got a high turnover or high population of First Nations people in comparison with the rest of the regions of Western Australia, which is something that I wanted to do because I've got a big passion for working with First Nations students and also First Nations people. So that was one of the reasons why I chose Derby. And also going back to what I said earlier, I think Derby would extend me professionally and give me new skills and give me new teaching experiences, but also extend me personally through meeting new people and meeting new First Nations communities. So that's again the reason why I went up. To give you a bit of background, so I've told you my reasons why I chose Derby, but to give you a bit of background about Derby District High School, which is a K-12 school. So the Derby District High School has 556 students attending from K-12, so that's kindergarten right through to year 12. And 85% of that cohort is First Nations. 84% is speak English as their second language. So there's already a lot of that aspect that was appealing to me, which is obviously going back to what I said earlier. That's why I went up. So that cohort is infused with the Kimberley Schools project to encourage attendance, encourage attainment, and also engage with the community. So those three aspects is embedded within the school, which is another thing that I took on professionally and extended me. But what I saw is it is the fruition of it in the primary school specifically. The attendance was up to 60 to 70%, where schools like that in other areas of the Kimberley and the Pilbara, they'd be struggling for below 50%. So I was really in a fortunate position to see Kimberley Schools project, which was an initiative, and also to see the attendance at a high level. What I taught when I was up there was I was teaching a year 6 class. I was teaching a year 6, but I had a year 4 streamed maths class, and a lot of that aspect was of the teaching was what I never learned at Notre Dame before. It was through an EDI approach, going back to the Kimberley Schools project. So I was learning a new aspect of teaching that I've never experienced before, and never heard about briefly through Notre Dame, but never been taught fully. So to experience that through teaching was a very, very rewarding experience, and it's now given me a kind of different facet of teaching. So that is that links to the Kimberley Schools project, and EDI is explicit direct instruction, and that's guiding students through an I do, we do, you do approach. And through that I was able to keep the attainment in the classrooms, but also keep the students' engagement and achieve some great performances within students' maths, English and other subjects. So what I taught when in the classroom, it was the subject specifically was English, maths through the streamed class. That was with Prime Maths, which is a directed maths initiative, and it was just more of a script, but I included some games of my own. Whilst I've learned at Notre Dame, and included them in there. I also done design and technology. I delivered on digital technology. I also delivered on art, and that was a very challenging one for me because I don't have an art bone in my body. But to deliver on that was very rewarding because it was able to see how much I can put into it, and it also reflected on. It showed me how students' work reflects on what you produce. So with my production was to an average level. Students who were at extension would produce an average level. So it just showed me as a teacher how much a student can perform under what a teacher performs. So it's the input meeting output. I also was able to get involved in delivering some health and PE lessons, so that was through their block sport. And then I was also able to deliver a wider year six as well as whole school school-wide assemblies, so that would be delivering choosing the star of the week. So there was a lot of community wider school initiatives within that I was experiencing whilst I was up in Derby. The extracurricular stuff I was able to participate in was the professional development. So the professional development that they had in Derby was after school and every Tuesday you'd be going through school-wide training with a lot of the colleagues, and that would be focusing on specific skills such as maths, where they were using building blocks to develop the maths and numeracy skills of teachers to deliver to students. So it was just giving them another initiative to teach. And as well as that, that was through Paul Swan, and then I was able to learn more about the EDI. So through the first couple of weeks, they would put me on professional development, where I would mirror a teacher and how they would deliver their EDI lessons to their students. So then I would have see how it was used in action, so to speak. So there was a lot of professional development, and to get teachers as well as myself up to a specific standard and keep them achieving high levels, and that's what the school really set with many of their teachers. Looking at the teacher demographic, a lot of their teachers were graduates, which lent itself to the fantastic school community it had. I was able to meet some really good friends out of that, many of which used to come to Notre Dame and then have became teachers up there through completing their course at Notre Dame and then becoming a teacher up there. So because they were all graduates or a couple of years out, I had a lot of support with my studies, and I also had a lot of support just in getting involved in the community and also my place in the community. They obviously had that experience themselves, so to have that support was very, very rewarding. And yeah, so that was both academically and professionally and also personally. So that was rewarding just to have that graduate cohort, in which 70%, except from the admin staff, are all graduate teachers. What was a big selling point for me whilst I was up there, and it was taking me away from teaching, was my involvement in the community, where I'm a sport enthusiast and I play AFL footy. So whilst I was up there, I got involved in coaching the women's team, where I became the head coach, and then I also helped the men's team in being a runner coach and being an assistant coach during their finals. So to have that involvement with the community and reaching out to the community members, seeing their parents, seeing the students' parents in a different light, really helped me and really helped me progress relationships with these parents who I wouldn't have reached out in the classroom. So it was just another good, rewarding experience to see how communities engage with parents in a different aspect of what you do in the city. Going back to the experience of being involved in the football club, I made some really good inroads with a lot of good people. So that was really rewarding to have that, and them appreciating me come down to training, teaching them what I know, the coaching skills that I've had in the past, and also getting involved in the club and helping them progress into their into finals, or getting more girls down to training and winning games where they've not won for the first time in that season. So a lot of good positives from that, and it was just a good way to get out of side of school and engage with the community. As well as that, the school staff who I spoke about, especially the graduates, they really made me feel welcomed and humble, and they always had an event going on. So that would be going out fishing, or going out exploring, going out camping. So they would have something going on every week. Obviously I couldn't make it because of my football commitments, but if I didn't have that, then I would be going out camping, I would be going out exploring. So there was a whole range of stuff that you could do up there, and some of the experiences that they were providing was great, and the school was great to support you. And so if you wanted to go fishing and you didn't know anyone, they would definitely put you in contact with a staff member who would be going out fishing, and then you wouldn't need to drive, so you're going out with the staff member going out fishing. They would obviously know where to go, and just to have that experience would be very welcoming and supportive to any prac student going up. And like I said before, camping, they had basketball teams, so there's a heap of things that you can get involved with. They had school volleyball team in the local volleyball comp, and then they would do a whole staff camping trip in certain points of the term. So again, it's a great opportunity to meet new people. Overall, living in Derby was such a great experience, and it led me to meeting some fantastic people who I've spoke about, and meeting some new communities which I would never have engaged with, especially the First Nations community. And it's given me, teacher-wise, a new facet, or to like a new string to my bow. So when I go in to teach an EDI school, I know what they're doing. When I'm going in to teach explicit instruction, I know what that's expected. So I was able to get a lot from this experience, both professionally and personally, that's able to help me move to where I want to go in life, and that's working with First Nations kids, as well as working in EDI schools. So it's given me a really clear focus of where I want to go once I finish university at Notre Dame. And yeah, I would say to anyone who's wanting to do a rural practicum, whether you go up to the Kimberley or whether you go down to the Goldfields with Esperance, do it. I think it's the best experience you can have to extend yourself professionally and personally, and the support that you'll have in these communities is just something that you will never experience in the metro area. You'll make some really good friends, and you'll have some really good experiences. So yeah, if I can say it to anyone, go and do it.